If you really want to learn English through real emotional stories, watch this video carefully till the end. Every sentence will help you improve your listening, speaking, and understanding skills. This is the story of a village girl who made one mistake that changed her entire life. She believed in love, trusted a man from the city, and gave him her heart. But destiny had another plan. Watch slowly, listen deeply, and feel every word. This story will stay in your heart. My name is Clara. I grew up in a quiet village where life was slow and simple. We had green fields, a small school, and evenings filled with laughter. My parents were kind farmers, and I was their only child. They dreamed I would marry a good man from our village. But when I was 19, a man from the city came to work on a road project. His name was Lucas. He had bright eyes, fancy clothes, and promises that sounded like dreams. I didn't know then that one mistake with him would change my whole life forever. Lucas stayed in the village for months. He often came to our farm to buy milk and talk. He spoke about city lights, restaurants, and cars I had never seen. I liked how he listened to me and called me special. One evening he said, "You belong in the city, not here." My heart believed him. Soon we began meeting secretly near the old mango tree. He said he loved me, and I believed every word. But love can be blind, and mine was too blind to see the danger ahead. One night, after a village festival, he asked me to go for a walk. The moon was bright, the fields silent. He held my hand, and I felt safe. But that night changed everything. The next morning, he left for the city without saying goodbye. Days turned into weeks, and I waited for his letter. Nothing came. Then I found out I was pregnant. Fear filled my heart. I couldn't eat, couldn't sleep. I thought of my parents' faces, of the people who would laugh at me. Shame covered me like a heavy storm. When my parents discovered the truth, my mother fainted. My father shouted, "You have destroyed our name!" Tears ran down my face as I begged for forgiveness. But they couldn't bear the shame. That night, my father packed my small bag and said, "Leave before sunrise." My mother cried silently, but didn't stop him. I walked away from my home barefoot, holding my stomach, not knowing where to go. The only thing I had left was the child growing inside me, and the hope that somehow life would forgive me. I walked for 2 days and reached another village. A kind old woman named Rosa found me sitting near the temple, weak and cold. She gave me food and a place to stay. When I told her everything, she said, "Child, mistakes don't end life. They begin new ones." Her words gave me courage. I helped her sell flowers in the market and slowly saved a little money. Months passed. When my baby was born, a little girl with Lucas's eyes, I named her Hope. She became my reason to breathe again. Life in the village was hard but peaceful. I woke early, worked in the fields, and took Hope to the river every evening. She loved to chase butterflies and laugh when water splashed her feet. People slowly accepted me, though some still whispered. Rosa often said, "Hold your head high. You are stronger than you think." Hope grew fast. Every time she smiled, I felt life giving me another chance. Yet deep inside, I sometimes wondered, Did Lucas ever think of us? One afternoon, a city car stopped near my flower stall. A man stepped out wearing sunglasses. My heart stopped when I saw his face. It was Lucas. He looked older, but still carried that same careless charm. Clara, he asked, surprised. I froze, unable to speak. He looked at Hope and then at me. Is she? I nodded slightly. He said nothing for a long time. Then he whispered, I'm sorry, and walked away. I stood there, shaking. I wanted to scream, to cry, to ask why. But I stayed silent, because some wounds no words can fix. For nights, I couldn't sleep. I thought of running after him. But what would I say? He had his life, and I had mine. One morning, Hope asked, Mama, why are you sad? I smiled and said, because I forgot to thank life for you. From that day, I decided to stop living in the past. I worked harder, taught Hope to read, and promised myself she would never feel less because of my mistake. The pain slowly turned into strength. I began to feel proud of surviving. Years passed. Hope grew into a bright, beautiful girl. She often asked about her father, but I always said, he lives far away. One summer evening, she came home with a medal from school. I came first in class, she said proudly. I hugged her tight. In that moment, I realized maybe my mistake had led me to my greatest gift. I wrote in my diary that night, love broke me, but motherhood rebuilt me. One day, Rosa fell sick. I took care of her day and night. Before she closed her eyes forever, she whispered, Clara, don't let regret steal your joy. Her words stayed in my heart. After her death, I took over her flower stall. People started calling me Clara the Flower Lady. My little shop became a symbol of second chances. Every petal I sold felt like a small piece of my healing. I learned that kindness can grow even from pain. When Hope turned 16, a letter arrived. It was from Lucas. He had heard about our life from someone and wanted to meet. My hands shook as I read it. I didn't know what to do. Hope begged, Mama, please, I want to see him once. I agreed. A week later, we met him near the river. Lucas looked sorry, truly sorry this time. He brought gifts and tears. I was a coward, he said. I looked at him and replied softly, and I was a fool. Gold! Hope hugged him, and for the first time, I felt peace instead of anger. After that meeting, Lucas visited often. He wanted to help with Hope's studies. At first, I was afraid, but he stayed respectful. Slowly, forgiveness replaced hatred. Hope started calling him Uncle. One evening, he said, Clara, you raised her perfectly. I'm proud of you. Those words healed something deep inside me. We didn't become lovers again. We became two people who shared a mistake and learned from it. That was enough. Years later, Hope got a scholarship to study in the city. The same city where my pain once began. I was scared, but proud. At the bus stop, she hugged me and said, Mama, you taught me that mistakes don't end life. They make us wiser. Tears filled my eyes. Watching her leave, I felt my story was finally turning into light. I walked back through the same dusty road I once took in shame. But this time, my head was high and my heart calm. When I returned home, I opened my old diary and read every page. I smiled at the girl I once was, broken, scared, lost. I whispered, You did it, Clara. You turned pain into power. That night, as the rain fell outside, I sat by the window and watched lightning dance across the sky. I wasn't afraid anymore. I had learned the hardest lesson, that sometimes the worst mistake leads you to the most beautiful truth. Now I'm an old woman, still selling flowers near the temple. People greet me with respect. Hope visits every weekend with her children, and they call me Grandma. Sometimes, when I see young girls dreaming by the river, I smile and silently pray for them. Life didn't give me what I wanted, but it gave me what I needed: strength, peace, and love that never leaves. My mistake once broke my world, but in the end, it built the woman I was meant to be. Thank you for watching this emotional story. If you enjoyed it and learned something new, please like, comment, and share. Subscribe to Glorious English for more heart-touching English stories. Remember, every story teaches you English and life together. See you in the next one.